The iPhone Air deserves to go caseless, but I know some of you are out there that are just so worried about breaking and messing up your iPhone. So we're going to talk about the best cases that still respect the thinness and lightness of the iPhone Air. And then still, I got a couple cases for those that just really want something that is incredibly protective. So let's go ahead and jump into it with the first case, which is the Arc Pulse case. Yes, this is it right here. This thing is, I guess you can call it a case. I mean, there's really not much to this thing, but it still adds protection to your iPhone Air. I think they also refer to this as the naked case. So basically the way this works is you kind of just wedge it over top of the camera plateau and just keep moving it around, and eventually it will sit more flush with the camera. And then the same thing for the bottom, you just kind of pop it in there and just kind of wedge it in place. So here it is right here. And let me just say, this matte black version of it with the space black iPhone Air just looks so good together. As I was saying, you want to get a case that kind of respects the thinness of the iPhone Air. You're not going to find another case more respectful than this thing right here, because it doesn't really hinder anything other than the corners. So let's take a look at the corners right here. So we have that lay on the table design. Even with the screen protector, I do have a screen protector on this iPhone Air, but you still get just enough of a lip to where it's protecting it. So if I put it flush on here, it's hitting the case instead of the screen of the iPhone. And then you have the camera bump fully protected as well, or camera plateau. Like that goes just barely again over top of the camera. And of course we have the four corners fully protected. The back's fully protected. As long as you're going to hit something flat, you are good front and back with this thing. Now, obviously, if you drop it on like a pile of rocks or something, then there's chances of it surviving is a little bit less. Then you're relying on Apple's engineering, which has proven to be incredibly strong. Now, there is one thing about this. This case comes in at $69.99. That's for the black. If you want the silver, it's $89.99. And they do have another version that's for the Pro, that's Damascus or something or other, and it's, I think, $1,600. It's more than what you would pay for your phone. But you will notice when I put this on, it's a little bit lopsided right there. So I gotta kind of just readjust it. So there is a little bit, you want to be careful when you do put it on. And this design is a little interesting, but overall, I mean, it seems to be pretty well. I also look like I messed up right here. So let's go ahead and pull this right back off. To take it off, you kind of just go over and pull up a little bit as you're pulling out. So the way this works, it's not metal on metal. They do have this like TPU material, maybe silicone. I don't know really what it's made of. Just kind of bumper in there. So that does take some of the hit if you do drop this with this case on, which is nice. So, but the price is up there. It is aerospace grade aluminum. So it's pretty strong, but it's very lightweight, which is really nice. And of course, this is really adding no bulk to your iPhone because the sides are fully exposed. The back and front are basically fully exposed. It's just enough to make sure if you drop your phone, you're gonna be okay. And I will say it's kind of nice because having this lip right here, it's perfect for your pinky to just kind of go and rest right there. Same thing right here, which the plateau already does. This just gives you a little extra to put your finger right there. So it gives you a nice way to grip the phone and still kind of access everything on the screen. But that's not the only one we're talking about today. So let's go ahead and take this one off and move on to the next one, which is a leather case from a company called Nomad. So this is the Nomad traditional leather case. It does come in two colors. This is the black, and then we also have the rustic brown. So now this isn't just your normal leather. This is Horween leather. It's a premium hand tan leather. So these do come in at quite a hefty price of $75. But once again, let's go ahead and just put this one on. It snaps right into place. Real easy, but we have full exposed sides, so it doesn't add a ton of bulk to the iPhone Air. We also still have that protection over the camera right here. As you can see, it goes just enough over to where the camera's not going to hit if it falls. And of course, the four corners and tops is also protected. I gotta say, I love the look of this color on the iPhone Air. It does come off fairly easily. It's a lot easier to take off than most of the other cases, I would say, in this lineup. So, but here it is in the rustic brown color. And I also wanted to point out that the leather comes out just a little bit further, even on the sides, than the iPhone side. So that's something to where if it does hit like this, not only do you have the corners and side right here, you also have a little bit of protection right here on the side, but it feels great in the hand. It does add a little extra bulk. So let's go ahead and pull out my measuring. So if I go from screen to back, we're looking at 9 millimeters. Now, you probably know, if you don't, the iPhone Air on its own is 5.6, but I have a screen protector on here, so that adds a little bit extra. I think mine is 6.5 with the screen protector. So this does add a decent amount to the sides. And of course, if we go, go bottom corner so we're not worried about the camera, you're looking at about 9.3 right there. But overall, feels amazing in the hand. It gives you a nice little grip with these sides sticking out just a little bit more, and it just looks so good. I love the brown, but I also gotta say the black looks great. So if you're looking for something that just kind of classes up the iPhone Air, I would say Nomad and their leather cases are probably the way to go. Next on the list is a little bit bulkier of a case. This is a case from MOFT. So MOFT makes a lot of cool stuff. I have their iPad cases. They have some wallets and stuff like that as well. That's really nice. They recently started selling watch bands as well, which is really cool. But now this one is a little bit bulkier. It does have the full side protection, but it still kind of respects the Air. It could be bulkier than this, and there is one that is bulkier than this that I will showcase later on. So we look at the sides, full coverage on the sides. You have tactile buttons, which is nice. These buttons stick out a lot though. I'm not sure if that was the design choice or what, but these buttons are pretty massive in the way, but they are nice and like they kind of grip a hold of you. Maybe it's a way just to kind of hold on to it a little easier. It is a little slick. I think with time and wearing it, you know, it will get a little bit less slick, but it's not too bad. It does have the camera capture pass-through button as well, which works really well. So you can see right here, I can do a double tap to change controls. I can zoom in, zoom out, and then of course take a picture as well. So it works really well. Like they did a great job on the camera capture pass-through. Now the cutout for the USB-C is a decent size. It's not massive, but it's okay. And then of course you got the microphones there, and of course the speaker is actually up here. But overall, the bump covers up the camera. You're protected there. Four corners, everything on this one. You do have, even with the screen protector, you do have a lay on the table design. So that is the case hitting, not the screen itself. And this one comes in, this is one of the cheapest ones. It comes in at $49. There's 3 color options for the Air. This is the Misty Cove. There's also a jet black, and then there's a taupe color as well. But now I will say with this one, this is probably one of the hardest ones to take off. So let's go ahead and kind of just get in the corners. Like it holds on really, really tight, which is a good thing if you think about it, because when you drop it, you're less likely for the phone to pop out of the case. But there we go. I got it off right there. But next on the list is the thinnest phone case, and that is the Pitaka Edge case. So they do have 4 colors with this option. This is the Moonrise, We have a sunset, a golden glit, and a lucid blue as well. They also have a 10th anniversary version of all these, and right now they're all the same price, which is also $49.99. The only thing I really noticed about the 10th anniversary version of them is that the camera bump was a different color. I'm not really sure what that's about, but this is definitely the thinnest. So let's go ahead and get the measuring out. And if I measure, this is coming in at 0.9. It does have a little bit of a lip right here, so it might even be down to 0.8. But overall, this is definitely one of the thinnest cases, and it still supports MagSafe. All these cases support MagSafe as well, so keep that in mind. But this one's pretty easy. You kind of just snap it on, comes on just like that. But feels really good. It's a very textured finish, so it does help with the grip of the iPhone. The camera bump does cover the camera. You got the 4 corners fully protected. The cutout is great. You got full access to the USB-C. Microphones are good as well. All the buttons themselves are exposed, so you don't have to worry about any kind of less clicky buttons there, I guess. But they are exposed. But as you can see with the screen protector, there is no lay on the table. This does not go. Even without the screen protector, I would kind of guess that it probably doesn't go all the way. And I will say the edges are a little bit sharp, and the screen protector definitely helps with that. So without the screen protector, you might feel a little bit more sharpness. They're not awful. I shouldn't say, like, maybe I'm kind of wrong at even pointing that out, but just over compared to everything else has this like smooth feel to it. These have a little bit more of a sharp grip just because of how thin this phone case is. Like, it's ridiculously thin and it looks great. I love this color. I love a lot of the color options that they have, but this one is probably my favorite. And it's really easy to take off as well. And like I said, this is $49.99. All the links to these cases will be in the description, so keep that in mind as well. And now we're going to go ahead and move on to what is my favorite case. And a lot of you will disagree with me, and a lot of you will even disagree that this is a case, because it's really not. This is the Nomad magnetic leather back. So all this is a leather back plate, and it's so crazy. It has MagSafe, and what the MagSafe actually does is help guide the back plate in place. And then let me go ahead and grab the other color. There are 4 other micro suction areas to the case. They do sell this in the rustic brown and the black. I've been using the rustic brown more than any other case that I have. I love this thing. This thing feels so good in the hand. Now, this is not much of a case. As you can see, it does not protect the corners at all. It does not protect the front at all. There's no lay on the table design. It does have enough of a lip to fully protect the camera bump. So you are there, and you do have full back protection as well. Now, if you do drop this, the likelihood of this popping off, there's a good chance. I will also say, if you're worried about how well it stays on, I've had these for the last year and a half, I guess. It was the 15 Pro when they first came out with this, and it's been basically the same design. And I've had that one. I've used it in my car on the car mount. I've hit bumps and all the other stuff going over train tracks. Never once has this fallen off the car mount. So just keep that in mind. These magnets are very strong, and they stay, and the suction cups are strong, and they keep a hold of the iPhone. So it's not coming off, but it is easy enough to remove. You can kind of just grab over the top and just pull it right off. Now, you do have to protect these suction cups if you're not wearing it. As you can see, I did not do that. So there are a couple little extras in there. I also put like a little strip right here because I heard people complain about the Pro model of this clicking, but I really didn't have to do that on this one. And I'll go ahead. I didn't do it on the black one. If I go ahead and just snap this in place, press the little corners, like it doesn't really, there's not much of a click there. There's still some, you can still do it. I will put the the strip that I used in the description as well, but it's not enough. It's nothing like the Pro. Like the Pro, I would recommend you get those strips, but not on these. But it looks really good. And I will say the thing that I love the most about this is that little extra, like this sides right here, just give you the perfect grip. It's just enough to just, I love it. I truly love this. The feel of this, you know, it does add a little extra thickness to the phone. Remember, mine is at 6.5 with the screen protector on it. So if I go ahead and take a look at this, we're looking at 8.6 with this case, maybe 8.7. So somewhere around there. So, but it's just, it feels so good. I wish I could just like have all of you feel this. It just gives you enough grip that you're not worried about dropping your phone. Of course, there is very little, if hardly any, protection to this case. And it does come in at $49 because it is made from that premium Horween leather as well. So keep all that in mind. This is one of my favorites, but it's still got, you know, I can understand why some people may not want to go this route. But next on the list is the Phone Rebel Series Gen 7. This is also $49, and this has another one that has that aramid fiber. This is a little smoother, but still has a little bit of grip to it, which is really nice. They do have replaceable buttons on this one, which is also nice. It came with black, but I was able to get the orange as well, but they have a few different options for that. It does also, this is the only one in the list that I'm showing you that has more of a full cover for the camera plateau, and it has a little bit of nice felt on the inside. You also have the logo right here, but as you can see, it does kind of get a hold of the hand oil and kind of showcase that more than most, I would say. Any darker color, like even this one, will eventually do it, but if you go with the black, you're going to see it way more than if you go with a lighter color with the aramid fiber stuff. So snap this one in. It's made like a silicone or TPU. It's not like too hard to just snap it in place. Make sure the corners are all in there. But this one's pretty interesting as well. Like I said, you get the color options. You can pay extras for those. I'll put a little note on how much those actually cost because I can't really remember right now. You do have lay on the table design, even with the screen protector, because the corners rise just a little bit more than the rest. The sides are nearly flush with a screen protector on it, which is really nice when you're going to like swipe around and stuff like that. So I really like the design. Same thing with the bottom. You can see it's nearly flush as well, but the corners are a little bit extra. Good cutout for the USB-C and the microphones right there. And overall, this is a really nice case, very minimal still. If I go ahead and take a look at the sides, you're looking at 9.1 for a fully protected case. If we go to the corner right here, you're looking at 9.6, 9.7, somewhere around there. Now, I will say the camera capture button is kind of interesting because they made just universal buttons. So this one, as you can see, it goes up just a little bit more. So because they made it a little bit larger than the iPhone Air's camera capture button, but it does work really well still. So you can do the double tap to change actions right here and select and take pictures and zoom and everything. Everything works really well through that. And like I said, you can customize it and pick a different color, which is really, really cool. So overall, really nice. You got full camera plateau protection pretty much right there. The camera itself is also protected just enough, and it feels really good in the hand. This is one of the grippiest because it's got some extra grip strip like little pieces right here. So it does give you probably the best grip on all of these cases that I'm showing you today. And this one is $49.99, and this, I believe this is the only option they offer with this. They may have a full black, you might not if you don't want the aramid fiber, but I think this is pretty much what they offer currently. But if you are somebody that needs to have as much protection on their iPhone Air this is probably the best case to get. This is the Mous case. Now, this is well known. They go around and they just throw these phones like crazy and they survive these impossible situations. Like I actually saw them put this one on an iPhone Air, throw it off a dam, and it survived. Like how insane is that? They did the same thing with the Pro and it did not. So I kind of believe them that this could survive that kind of fall. Now, obviously it just depends, but the Pro is aluminum. This one does have the titanium. So this is a stronger phone overall, but just look, this looks really good. They do, I believe, possibly offer different colors. I know for the regular phones they do, you can get like leather back and different bamboo and different materials right here. This is the Aramid fiber one. Again, this is a very smooth, like definitely compared to the Pitaka. The Pitaka is really rough. This one is like perfectly smooth. Like there's no real grit to it, but they do have a little bit of grip right here on the sides, which makes it really nice. And of course you have 4-corner protection. You have the camera bump protection right there as well. They do raise the corners like the Rebel case does. You can see it goes up and then tapers down to kind of give you a closer fit to the phone on the sides. I wish they would do that like Rebel does on the bottom as well, but they don't. They keep that all the way up. But once again, this is the beefier of the cases. So if we go ahead, looking at 9.9 on the Edge, and we are at 10.6 on the corner there, maybe even 10.8 at some area. But it does have a good cutout for the USB-C and the microphones. But I would say this is the perfect case for travel. So if you are somebody that travels a lot, or maybe you're going to travel, this wouldn't be what I would consider an everyday case unless you're in a situation where every day you need to really worry about what would happen if you drop your phone. This is one of those cases that it's more like I may have a rough day today, or I'm traveling and I just really want to make sure my phone is protected. And this would be the case to get for those situations. And then you can just take your case off and rock the phone like it should be on every other day. I will say I do like the buttons on this one more. So you can see these are really thin, especially compared to the MOFT case. Those are like really beefy, which is kind of interesting because this is a thinner case than what this one is. But the camera capture pass-through button works great as well. You can go through, select the options right in there and take a picture, zoom in, all that stuff. Really responsive, everything. You also have a lanyard option right here. Now this case comes in at $49.99 right now. Normally it's $74.99. I'm not sure why they have such a big discount on this case right now. I don't know if it's just not selling that well, since apparently the iPhone Air isn't selling that well and they just reduced the price, but that's what they have it as right now. So if you're looking for a protective case for a great price, this is the cheapest one in the lineup that I'm talking about today. So highly recommend this. And if you're curious on how the iPhone Air is holding up, I have a video right here for you, but I'd love to hear what you think. What is a case that you would put on your iPhone Air, or what case you're currently rocking on your iPhone Air? So let me know in the comments below. And once again, all the links to these cases are also in the comments below. Thank you so much for watching. Have a great rest of your day. God bless.